Welcome to the Winter Clinic. South End Rowing Club has been putting clinics on for about 2 years now, and this is a special clinic. It's a winter clinic, and there's going to be several different topics that are covered by expert presenters today. Today we have Venessa Lee is going to talk about club stuff and orientate you to things like the Sunriser swims and club swims and such. Then we're going to hear from Ginny Duncan, who's going to talk to us about hypothermia and some of the, dangers and some of the things to look out for when you're swimming in the winter, because part of the reason we're doing this is to keep people safe and also help you to be better at the winter swimming in the cold water. Then we're going to hear from Jeff Gundersun and Sue Free, and they're going to really cover a lot of what I would call open water 101 stuff. A whole lot of the stuff that's really going to help you out. I'm Rick Mullville. I'm just introducing, and I'll be part of the round table with Ray Essick, and as many of the other experts that are here today, they're going to stick around. So if you have questions, any kind of question, during the round table, you can talk to us at that time. And then after the round table, anybody that wants us to take a look at you in the water, we're willing to stick around to do that as well. Before we go any further, there's one person I think I should thank, and all of us should thank, and that is Venessa Lee. Venessa Lee organizes these things, and it's not an easy task. I think we had almost 100 emails back and forth between people to get this thing going, and much appreciated, Venessa. Vanessa's going to speak as soon as I finish. There's some other people we need to thank. We need to thank our presenters. We need to thank all the different coaches that come in, because when we have our normal clinics, it's people who are coaches currently, like myself, people who have been coaches, and then other experts in open water swimming and swimming come in and help people with their technique. And we've had many of our club members who are expert come in and do that. And I would also like to thank our swim commissioners over the last 2 years that have helped us to do these clinics, and that was Simon Dominguez, who's now our president, was originally the person that got this all rolling. So Simon, Kelly Preble, and now Van Cornwell are our swim commissioners, and without their help, we wouldn't be able to do this. All right, free clinic, unbelievable talent doing the presentations, and all we ask is that you volunteer around the club. This club runs on people doing, club service, and what I'd say every time before we start these clinics is volunteer for something. Do a swim, help with a swim, help with an event. Come to the day of service and help clean the place, fix the place up. And if you've got a talent that you think can improve the club, please step forward. Anyway, enough from me. Let's hear from Venessa.
Okay, I'm Venessa. So what I'm going to talk about firstly is what's happening this year, 2019. So these are all the club swims. These are the dates. You will find these on the website. If you go to swim, there's a drop-down menu. You will find our swim calendar. It's also on the club calendar. You can see all the other events, but this is our swim calendar. These are the dates. Sorry? Oh, yeah, it's also on the back of this. Okay? And you will get this. We'll talk about that. These are the dates, okay? They're always on a Saturday and Sunday. This is the name of it. But more importantly, how far is it? I added this, okay? Some of these are long. Now, some of them you will see say NA or Nutcracker. People in this room, you're newbies, not so surebies, please don't go to a Nutcracker and attempt to do it. And we'll explain why later, okay? Choose something nice and easy, swimming in the cove. But these are all the club swims, and this is about the time that they will kick off. Now, when you sign up for a club swim on our SERC registration, You'll see some details there, but you need to keep yourself on Google Groups and Facebook. Google Groups is where most of the swims are advertised, and you will see the final timelines. You need to be on Google Groups. If you're not, get on it. Otherwise, you're not going to know what's going on. There's a lot of things that go on in Google Groups, some good, some not so good, some kind of funny, but the club swim's really important. What's the difference between a club swim and a sunriser swim? A club swim is an organized swim that is assisted by lots of boats, lots of kayaks, lots of people, usually food after, and you pay a nominal fee to cover those facilities. It is nominal. There's not a lot of money for the club swims. The other types of swims are sunrisers. You can go to our club website and you can see sunriser swims, also on the drop-down menu. Those are where you turn up early, by the name Sunriser, in the morning. There is a book on that brown desk outside, and it will be open, and there'll be numbers. It will say the Sunriser swim and the date, and there'll be numbers for how many spots are open. Put your name next to it. There'll be a rib. Maybe 2 ribs, maybe 3 ribs. Our pilots are volunteering to do a sunriser swim, okay? It's purely volunteer. There is no fee. But you have to help with the boats, so you need to get here early to get them out, to put them back. You need to sign in when you get back so that we know you got back, because we don't have so much support on a sunriser swim. They are so much fun, because it's just a small group of you and you're in the middle of the bay. So please think about sunriser swims. Some of them are very, very good. Again, you will see there is on the Sunriser sheet page, you'll see the sign up. It'll open a Google sheet, and you can see exactly what the Sunriser swim is. Okay? Enough about that. If you have any questions, come ask one of us. Can I go to the next slide? So this is our gorgeous bay. And you're looking at that and you're going, where the hell am I? Because when I'm in the water, I have no clue. So I'm just going to quickly talk about what some of these swims are. Actually, can we go back a slide? So, dreaded 9th nutcracker. Don't do that, okay? Everyone got that? There's only a couple of people in this room that can do that. If you're new, don't do that. But Pier 39. Pier 39 is a gorgeous swim. You jump off of the Pier 39, and all the tourists are looking at you, and they think you're crazy. You jump off, you swim back here. It's 1.25 miles. It's great. It's a good warm-up for Alcatraz, because if you've never done Alcatraz, it's the same distance, but it's along the shorefront. So that's really nice. And usually it's with a tide. It feels good. St. Patrick's Day, Coughlin. Coughlin Beach is along here. That's a nice swim. Andyfield Bay Bridge. That's a great swim, a little longer. Evening Pier 39, wonderful. Kirby Cove, a little longer. 5 Coves of Death. That is the qualifier for this one here, Bay to Breakers. That's our huge swim. That's where you jump in at the Bay Bridge and you go all the way around to Ocean Beach. Again, please don't do it yet. Pride Swim, that's wonderful. Newbie Swim. There's a ton of swims here that you will find. Floatapalooza. Oh my gosh, that's so much fun. We either jump on Pier 39, or we go from Coughlin, or we go from Fort Mason. We jump in with a load of floats. It's a sunny day. It's wonderful. We have fun. Any questions about this? Yes.
Put in one thing. So the 5 Coves of Death on May 5th, that's a traditional event. It's at May 5th, 5 p.m., regardless of the day of the week. It's 5 laps around Aquatic Park. You can do as many or as few as you want. So even though that's listed as a nutcracker, I encourage everybody just come on down, jump in at 5 o'clock, do 1, do 2, do 5. Yep. If you can, do 10. Do them at 5 in the morning and again at 5 at night, but it's a great time and it's very social. And even though it's called a nutcracker, or it's on this list as a nutcracker, it really encourages a lot of involvement by everybody, because if you can only go around once, or you've never been around once, it's supported. And there'll be a lot of people out there, and now's your time to try a cove, and then maybe you want to go for a second one and then just come in if you're not feeling it.
Okay, thank you. Let's go to the next slide. So there's our wonderful cove. This is Muni Pier. This is Creekers. This is Hyde Pier. Okay, a tight cove goes all the way around. I will show you that in a minute. Let's go to the next slide. So let's talk about some of these areas here. So Sea Scout Base, if anyone talks about that, that's over here. Aquatic Park, the beach, Maritime Museum, all these different things. This area here, You really do not want to be swimming in this area here. A lot of people will go under this pier and swim out here, but this is a really, really well-trafficked area. Do not go there. Trafficked with boats and floaty animal things. Don't go there, okay? Let's go to the next slide. Okay, so Hyde Street Pier. This is what we call Fort Mason. This is Fort Mason here. There's 3 piers. The very end pier is what we call Gas House. So when people say, I'm going to Gas House, they're going all the way here. This is but just a Fort Mason is just across here. This is Black Point. People talk about that. Okay, on the website, there's lots of different pictures. There's this map here, and this talks about some of the different areas here. And unfortunately, I've put this up because you can see it on the website. I can't really see it here to read. Have a look at it on the website. But let's go to the next slide. What is the 5 Coves of Death tight cove that we talk about? People say we're going to swim a cove. There's variations on a cove. You can swim down here to the flag. You can go around these boats and swim round. That's a cove, but it's not a tight cove. For the 5 Coves of Death, you're going to start at the beach. You're going to go along the flag line. You're going to go around the flag. No cheating, please. You're going to go across to what we call the goalposts. The goalposts are these sticky up things, these posts right next to Muni Pier. You have to go between the goalposts and Muni Pier. And then you're going to follow Muni Pier tightly, right next to you, like here, all the way around. And then you're going to go under this end piece. What's this end piece? Anybody know? Anybody know? Wedding cake. Yes, it's the wedding cake, because it looks like a wedding cake. You're going to go underneath it. If you've never done it before, you need to get someone to show you the way. At low tide, it is nasty. There are things sticking up. At middle tide, high tide, it's absolutely fine. Get someone to show you the way. Do not attempt it on your own. There are certain routes through it, okay? But it's fine. It's fun. Then you go across to this center buoy, as I call it. You can say buoy. And then you're going to come around creekers. You're going to go through this bit. Did anybody know what this is called? Yay, jacuzzi, because it is swirly, very swirly, okay? And at New Year's, there's mistletoe in there, and you can go under there and smooch, whatever. Anyway. And then you're going to go over to the back of the Balcluva, and you're going to swim between those boats and the pier. Okay, sounds scary. Oh, it's so much fun. So much fun. Depending on the tide, sometimes you'll get sucked, and other times you'll have to work on it. What you have to be careful is lifting your arm. When you lift your arm, there's things hanging down, okay? And you may scrape yourself. Plus, the tide may swirl you. So a 5 Coves of Death goes around the back, and then back to the pier. And then you stop there and you have a shot of tequila. No, you don't. Well, some people do, but... and then when you do the 5 Coves of Death, there'll be people here with your bits and bobs if you need sustenance, and then you do it again, and again, and again, and again, 5 times, okay? Or once, just once. First time I was a member of the club, I just did it once. It was wonderful. So, do it. Do it before. Do it with someone. Get them to show you the way. Really good. Okay, next slide. Just quickly. Round trip gas house, Fort Mason. Remember I talked about Fort Mason? You go out, you go to Fort Mason, you come back here. You go out, you go to gas house, you come back here. Okay? There is a little gap through here. Okay? There's a little, what's it called again? I never remember. Barnsworth. There's a little gap. At high tide, there's a little gap. Do not try it if you've never done it before. Get someone who knows how to go through the gap. It's swirly, it can be shallow, you can get cut up, but there is a way through. Don't do it on your own if you don't know where it is. But there is a gap, and that means that sometimes when there's a tide here, you can get through here and then play in this area, which is a great place to play. Love playing there. Okay, next slide. My last slide. The whole bay. Okay, so Pier 7. Pier 7's over here. Okay, AT&T swim. When we swim from AT&T, this is where we start. This is the Bay Bridge swim start, okay? It's actually jumping off the firehouse boat. It's really cool. Pier 7 by the Discovery Museum. Pier 39. See how close that is? It's really close. The Jeremiah O'Brien. People will say, head for the Jeremiah O'Brien. It's a big grey boat. You can't miss it, okay? It's docked here, okay? This is us. The Rock, Alcatraz, just in case you didn't know, that rock is Alcatraz. Coughlin Beach, it's right on the tippy toe here, where the wave organ is, okay? This is Yacht Harbor Beach. Anita Rock. It's not exactly a rock, it's this big thing, structure sticking out the water. It's right off of Crissy Fields, okay? This is the Golden Gate Bridge start, and we go across. This is Kirby Cove. Over here, we come across, and then we swim back here. China Beach. People go swimming in China Beach. You know, there's no sauna, there's no showers, a little cold, but it's fun. So if there's something happening here and it's calm over there, you could go over here. And then the Bay to Breakers swim, the big one. They start over here in the bay, and they go all the way around to here, okay, 10.5 miles. So look on Google Groups. That's a good point. There are lots of things posted on Google Groups. There's lots of different pods. There's half moons. There's full moon swims. There's lots of stuff going on. What I'm trying to say to you is get used to knowing what these marks are. Swim with someone. Get someone who knows to show you around the bay. Lots of people will. And have fun, because you do not have to do the big long swims to have fun here. There is lots of swims, but one thing I will say, if you are on your own, do not swim out the cove, please. That's my recommendation. If you are in a pod, you may not go beyond Gas House, and you may not go beyond Creekers. And there's a reason for that. There's boat traffic. Please, please, please do not do that. Okay, and later on we're going to talk about safety and everything. Okay, I'm going to pass it over to Jeannie.